So we have the new patch notes that just came to Siege, and there are some insane changes here, so let's get into it. This is the attacker win delta for console. This is platinum and above, so pretty high elo stuff here. The most played people are on the right and the least played are on the left, so obviously Ashe and Ace on console are the most played attackers. That makes sense. If they're lower on the chart, that means that people lose with them the most, and if they're higher on the chart, that means people win with them the most. So Sen's being the lowest makes a lot of sense. I think Shields being super high, both Blitz and Monty, makes a lot of sense. I think Finka being high as well makes sense too. If you think about it, having the ability to counter a Frost if you're on attack, having an LMG, having 3 flash grenades, having the ability to help your shields out, you know, helps a lot in the current meta that we're in. Gridlock for plants, Ram for vert. I mean, this is just standard stuff. I really am not surprised by a single thing that I'm seeing on at least the console attackers. Let's move on to PC, however. Monty, you can see, is one with a lot more on PC. I don't know why, but I do think people are playing him a little bit more. Ashe and Ace and Buck and Dokkaebi all being at the forefront of most people's picks, just like on console, does not surprise me at all. Finka still being pretty high up there, Gridlock being high up there, Blitz being high up there, pretty standard stuff, and Sen's still being at the bottom. I've talked about this time and time again. I think Sen's needs to be buffed because there's just way too many things that counter Sen's. But now that we've talked about all the attackers, let's talk about the defenders. We'll go over the bans, and then we'll finally go over all of the balancing changes. So for console defenders, Kapkan, Rook, and Frost, and Melusi, and Legion being the top 5 one with the most operators makes complete sense to me. Traps on console are more powerful because it's harder to actually hit the traps and punish it. Rook and Frost both having ACOGs and a pretty easy to use ability is still pretty good as well. Having armor to be able to pick yourself up or just for the extra health helps a lot. It helps immensely. It helps more than people realize, I think. And the fact that these 3 operators right here, being Rook, Frost, and Kapkan, have been the top 3 most won with defenders for, I think, about a year now, kind of proves that they are pretty good operators. Doc and Vigil being picked the most on console makes sense. You have the Boss G and impacts on Vigil, and you have Doc he's just so versatile. One thing I do want to point out, Smoke is the lowest in terms of win rate on console. On PC, this isn't really an issue, but on console, Smoke's win rate has been low for a while. It's pretty hard to be able to reliably use the SMG-11 on console for at least most players. When you get to higher elo, it's not really an issue. And if people are running them with shields, you kind of can just run past Smokes, and people don't really know how to play Smoke all that well. So I think pretty much all of this makes sense. Let's move on to PC though. Again, you see the same 3 operators, Kapkan, Rook, and Frost being the most won with operators on the defense. Not surprising. You have Legion and Doc being the most picked operators, as well as Azami and Vigil. I think Azami is really used a lot on higher level PC, and that's why her pick rate is so up here. She's one of the best operators in the entire game. Tachanka and Clash being this low doesn't surprise me, but you see that Smoke is still a lot higher up than he is on console. Scopos on both win deltas is actually pretty high. Scopos is a pretty good operator. You essentially do have 2 lives if you play it correctly. You have 2 health bars, 2 ammo counts, and you have impacts to be able to counter shields, and you have the ability to waste so much time by making everyone try to roam clear you, and then you just disappear out of nowhere. A very good operator in my opinion, and somebody you really should start to learn how to play if you haven't already. But now that we've gone over all of the little win deltas and stuff, let's move on to ban rates, and then we'll go over the actual balancing changes. So Jackal and Monty being banned a lot on console does not surprise me. Fuse being banned on console does surprise me as a PC player, but I see it happen all the time, so not really. Let's move to PC. Dokkaebi, Jackal, and Monty all being the top 3 with Blitz being 4th. I get it. He's a really good operator. Ying is also banned a lot on console and PC because she fits well with the shield meta because you're able to execute and do plants with her very easily. Let's move on to defense. For PC, you have Fenrir, Mira, Clash, and Vigil, all very strong operators right now. Clash is just annoying. Fenrir's still a good operator. Vigil has a boss G and is just annoying to go against. And then on console, you have pretty much the exact same thing, but Kapkan's banned a little more than PC, as you can see right here. People just don't want to have to deal with Kapkan on console. Again, because aiming for traps is just a little bit harder when you're on sticks. As somebody who's played both PC and console, I do know that. But now, let's actually move on to the balancing changes. First up, a word about ballistic shields in Year 9 Season 4. Let me move my mic closer to me, sorry about that. With the shield update released in Year 9 Season 1, we've seen an encouraging evolution of shield usage overall. They have more impact and are a more relevant option than before. However, we do not want them to become an overly oppressive solution for attackers, and with those seasons learning, we will be tuning them for Year 9 Season 4 to reinforce their support role. So, next season, they're going to balance shields. That's cool. They're at least acknowledging it a little bit. Now, they're balancing out Yana. Yana's a bit weak, so I'm hoping this is a buff. Yana should help reduce their reliance on drones. However, unlike drones, which are similar and more elusive, the Gemini Replicator is too easy to detect and destroy. The primary advantage of using the Gemini Replicator is that it doesn't result in resource loss when destroyed. That is true. You get an infinite amount of clones. That's great. However, 30 seconds cooldown can be quite restrictive, potentially limiting its use to just a few times per round, which may not feel impactful enough. This is also true. When I was talking about in my tier list that I recorded, I think yesterday, I talked about how I do not feel like Yana is good enough because yes, you have an infinite amount of intel technically, but you're only going to be able to use that a certain amount of times in the round because it has such a long cooldown. To address this, we're reducing the cooldown time for when it's destroyed, allowing it to be used more frequently to assist in droning yourself into your teammates. And they did this by cooldown when destroyed, only when destroyed, reduced to 20 seconds from 30. So that's cool. They're not reducing her cooldown even though it's not being destroyed, which kind of does suck, but they're at least, you know, reducing it for when it does get destroyed, which I think is absolutely great. Next up, let's go to Jackal. Ooh, is this a nerf or a buff? I want to see what they do here. Removing the distortion effect when being shot would enable Jackal to use his Inox more effectively, making it easier to track enemies even in high pressure situations. This change would allow him to provide more consistent intel to his team by keeping the visor active for longer periods. That's true, I guess, but that's not really that impactful. We believe the distortion doesn't serve as an effective counter, but rather makes the visor less user-friendly. That is true. Therefore, we view this adjustment as a quality of life improvement rather than a substantial buff. Okay, so they at least know that that's not going to buff the operator. They're just doing it as a quality of life thing. That's fine. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Actively following tracks with the visor is an enjoyable aspect of its gameplay, and we aim to make this experience more comfortable for players. So they just removed the visor distortion when you get shot. That's cool. I guess I'll take it. It's not a buff or a nerf. They just kind of tweaked them. All right, Callie, please be a buff. Please be a buff. In addition to the changes to the CSRX 300 detailed below, we are also equipping Callie with a set of smoke grenades. Oh, cool. This new option is intended to assist her in relocating with some concealment or to strategically funnel defenders into her line of sight by obstructing their vision from other angles. I do like that. I like that. I think smoke grenades are a really powerful secondary gadget that are slept on a lot, and I think they could be good on Callie. I think that is true. I do like that. That would help her actually be better for plants. She could cover angles so people plant with a sniper and just one-shot people. That's actually huge. I like that a lot. That's really good. Okay, Mozzie, please be a fourth pest. Please be a fourth pest. I have been asking for Mozzie to get a fourth pest or to get a super shorty back. If it's one of the two, I will be happy, please. Mozzie's ability to capture 3 drones is already quite significant, potentially making him more effective than Valkyrie. However, this potential is rarely realized due to drones being destroyed or the difficulty in quickly securing captures, which can make him feel less impactful than Mute. This is what I was saying. Should they give him a fourth pest? To make this potential more achievable, we're increasing his resources. Yes! Wait, they're listening. They're listening. We also aim to encourage more active drone hunting with only 3 pests. Oh, they gave him a fourth pest. Let's go! Woo! I've been asking for this for 2 seasons. I know it's gonna be fourth pest because it says with only 3 pests. There's limited flexibility between pre-placing them and keeping them for a future use. We hope that additional resources will provide more flexibility, making him interact more with its gadget during the action phase. I'm not looking below whatever I'm reading because I want to keep it a surprise for myself. So I don't know if it's actually another pest. Additionally, the impact grenades will enhance his mobility. Mozzie mains are eating good. We're eating good. Enabling him to roam the map faster, more effectively using the intel gathered from his captured drones. Maximum resources increased to 4 from 3, and they gave him impacts. Oh my god. I love this. I love this. I've been asking for this for so long. They buffed Mozzie. Increased to 4 from 3. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, let's go. Okay. And they give him impact grenades. Awesome. Okay. Mozzie, great. I literally love everything on this list. There's not a single thing on this list that I disagree with so far. This is actually, like, really good. Good patch notes for once. Holy shit. Okay. 0. We're on a roll. Don't fuck it up. Okay, cool. Unlike standard drones, the Argus cameras are stationary, so they remain relevant only while the action is in their vicinity. Beyond that point, they may become less useful, which can pressure you to place them in more risky and exposed areas. However, with the additional coverage, 0 can now place the cameras in more creative ways and less obvious locations, making them harder to spot and destroy. Even if some cameras don't see much action, he can double down on the same area to ensure the coverage. This also means fewer blind spots, making it easier to rely on 0's cameras for flank watch. True. Now he can establish a network that can cover multiple flanks and key areas effectively. Increased to 6 from 4? Oh my god. Wait, 0's gonna be comp. I mean, I made a tier list yesterday on stream. I know I keep plugging it, but like I put 0 very low because I don't think he's that good. But now that he has 6 cameras, bro, he might be good. He might be really good. I like that buff. I like that. You can also use him for burn now too, which is cool. And if you're on a higher elo, Zero is completely useless, which is why I think he's bad, because if you shoot a Zero camera, most of the time they have a headset and they have a monitor, so they can just see and hear where your camera is and shoot it, and Zero never really gets a lot of value in higher elo. But with 6 cameras and then 2 drones for cutoff drones, that's 8 points of information from 1 operator. That's insane. That's really good. Okay, Zofia, please be a buff to Zofia. They haven't actually missed. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 out of 5 that are good balancing changes. Okay, we will replace Sophia's breach charges with hard breach charges. What? Yo, that's good. That's good. This adjustment aims to enhance her versatility, enabling her to handle both soft and hard breaching tasks. By equipping her with hard breaching charges, we hope to provide teams with greater flexibility in their strategies and operator selections, fostering more creative and diverse strategies similar to what operators like Capitao or Zero are promoting. Oh my god, that's actually true. Wow. Dude, I was not expecting it to be this good. I like that. It's a good change. Dude, 6 out of 6. They have not missed. Did they hire a new balancing team? What the f is going on? What's going on? Okay, CSRX 300. That is, I think, Cali's sniper, so they're talking about it now. Being a sniper in Siege presents quite a challenge. The opportunities to play from a safe and distant position are limited. True. Making it easier for your position to be called out after the first shot. I think that's true, but only to a certain extent, because if you're a good Cali or Glaz player, you have a good SMG sidearm, so it doesn't really matter that much anymore. Anyways, we'll keep reading. Additionally, the bullet trails of the CSRX 300 are more visible than others, complicating the efforts to remain unseen. That's true. Whenever I shoot my sniper, somebody can see my bullet trail and pre-fire me the next shot, which is really, really bad for you. Like, if you're a Cali trying to shoot people from ruins of coastline and you shoot 1 bullet, you're done. Everybody peeks you at 1 time, you're done. The reduction in duration and size will help make it safer to take a second shot from the same position. Duration and size? Defenders will need to pay closer attention to the trails if they wish to determine Cali's position. Oh, the duration and size of the bullet trail. Okay. Duration reduced to 1 second. So the bullet trails last for less long, and the actual size is reduced by 75%. I mean, they could just make it a normal bullet trail too, but I think that'd be a little OP. I like that. That's a good... Dude, okay. There were 7 balancing changes, and all 7 of them were actually kind of good, no? They didn't miss a single time. I think this is the best balancing change that they've made in years. It was so simple, but because everything was so good, like, yeah, the Yana one's good, the Jackal one's good, the Cali's one good, the Mozzie one is good, the Zero one's good, the Zofia, yeah, everything. Wow, they just didn't miss a single time. That is insane. Holy, I cannot wait to be able to play the new Zofia. I cannot wait to be able to play the new Mozzie. I want to do that literally tomorrow. That's great. Well, with it out of the way, my name is Alka. Check out this next video, and I hope to see you there.